What's up everybody, Eagle here, and I want to welcome you to my 2022 version of the In the Bag. I got the beautiful Horsetooth reservoir behind me, and I can't wait to show you guys what I'm going to be throwing for 2022. All right, first I'm gonna get in the putters, but before I do that, I just want to make sure I shout out, first off, Discmania, because that's all the discs that I'm gonna be throwing, and then one other amazing supporter of mine is Grip Equipment. I carry their bags, I've been using them for a long time, and I firmly believe that they are an amazing product. It's an honor to represent them. So, we're gonna jump into putters and approach discs first. The putter that I am using right now is the RAINMAKER. This is my first Creator Series disc with Discmania. It's a putter, and it's very similar to an old style P2, which is a disc that I love, but Discmania gave me the opportunity to kind of fine tune a disc and try to create exactly what I wanted in a putter, and I chose the RAINMAKER. I've been loving this disc so far. These are the original prototypes that I've been using, but I actually just came from the warehouse today, and I'm going to hopefully be switching over to these guys soon. These are the stock run of the RAINMAKER. It's a Glow Flex 3D line. These feel really great, so I'm gonna be putting some more time on these, and I have the intentions to switch over to these at some point, hopefully very soon. So, RAINMAKER for the primary putter, and then I got a Flex 2 RAINMAKER, which was in the mystery box. I'm not using this for putting per se, but short approach shots, and then some shots off the tee where I need to throw on a hyzer, pop up, go straight, or even drift a little bit right, maybe some longer spin putts, jump putts. Really liking this Flex 2 for that style of shot. The next disc is the S-Line P3X. Probably my favorite approach disc of all time / driving putter. It doesn't have a lot of glide, has a good amount of overstability. So I really like to throw this for shorter approach shots that I can throw nose up, that gradually hyzer out, or just a disc that I know will sit. It doesn't have a lot of skip, feels really comfortable in the hand, and it will hold up to some degree of wind. And last but not least, I have the very special Discmania C-Line Tactic. I'll give you guys a little bit of a story behind this disc. It's actually the same exact mold as the Razor Claw 2. It's a little bit different than the standard version of the Tactic. Same with the Razor Claw 2. It's a little bit more blunt, a little bit less glide, a little bit more overstability, so it makes it a better option for a power thrower, whether you're throwing backhand, forehand. Really love this disc. It's pretty beat up now. I'll probably be putting a new one in the bag soon, but I'm sure this will cycle its way in and out of the bag, because at this point, this is a great straighter thrower with a consistent finish at the end. C-Line Tactic, what can I say? It's absolutely amazing. All right, that's my putters. Let's move on to mid-ranges. All right, on to mid-ranges. It's a pretty simple slot right now. I use my approach discs and putters a lot for mid-range style shots, but the two molds that I am throwing for mid-ranges are a very important part of my game when I do use them. The first one of that is the Discmania Neo Mutant. This is from the Primal run. Shout out to Mike Kemp for doing this awesome dye job. This is an extremely overstable mid-range, not a lot of glide, great for backhand and forehand. Incredible wind fighter. I can tell you that as soon as this disc came out last year, I reached for it immediately because I really wanted that super overstable mid-range slot that, throwing forehands, backhands, not a lot of glide, and the Mutant is that disc. I think it's one of the better options in our lineup for that style shot, really in disc golf. So super cool disc that I've been loving since its release last year. Next two are, it's the MB3. What do you expect? I think it's the best mid-range in the Discmania lineup, very versatile. I'm carrying two right now. This one was the first ever C-Line MD3 I got my hand on that's from the new factory. It started off somewhat overstable, now it's somewhat understable, so if I'm in the woods or I need a super straight shot that tails off a little bit to the right, I'm reaching for this first run or prototype C-Line MD3. And then next up is my new Iron Samurai 3. Love the artwork on this, love the Gundam / Mecha artwork by Manny Trujillo. This is very straight with a pretty good amount of stability. I've only bagged the pink ones. I found them just to feel really good in the hand. Feels good for a sidearm grip, really great for a backhand, and it's a little bit on the stiffer side. So for the summer months, this is gonna have really great grip. It's gonna keep its integrity. And yeah, the Iron Samurai 3 is up there with the best of the MD3 runs, in my opinion. Now we're gonna jump into the fairway drivers, a very important part of my game and a pretty large portion of what I throw out on the course. Very versatile. They are more controllable than the faster speed drivers, but yeah, let's see exactly what we got going on. First up, I have a Neo Essence. This is a utility disc. Throw this a lot for rollers, and then very rarely you'll see me throw it for a backhand or something like that, but it does make its way out if I need to throw a forehand scramble shot, grenade. Most understable disc in the bag, so the Essence is it's a really great disc, and it's probably one of the best discs in our lineup for a beginner. So if you're just starting out, then I highly recommend the Essence. Next up is FD2s. I carry 3 in my bag, and I'll talk about these 2 first. This is the first run of the FD2 3-tooled. So there's 3 renditions of the FD2. The original, the second tooled, and this is the 3-tooled. These are currently out of production, but at some point we'll be bringing the FD2 back into our lineup. So I'm hanging on to these for right now. This is a prototype version of this. So this was kind of these aren't really easy to find, let's just say that. But this is straight with a little overstability. This has been in my bag a bunch of time. This one's pretty flippy at this point. And then I'll talk about this one. How I was telling you about the 3-tooled, this is the second tooled version. There was a very small number of C-lines produced, and luckily I got my hand on them, and of course, I decided to love it, and there's not really many backups for these. So this is a little bit more overstable than both of these, a little less glide, kind of like a beat up version of an FD3. Feels good for sidearm, backhand. So this is a really great controlled driver option if I'm like in between shots. So yeah, the FD2 is it's a magical disc. Definitely one of my favorite fairway drivers. Next up is the Neo Instinct. I'm just trying this out again this year. I wasn't throwing it last year. I threw a lot of good shots with the Instinct back in 2019. I kind of wanted to revisit it. It's really glidey for a fairway driver. Good amount of stability. I wouldn't say it's overstable, but if you throw it flat, it's gonna want to tail back to the left. So I'm just messing around with this so far, and I've been liking its control out on the course. So this may or may not stick around in the bag, but it's a pretty disc, and I've been enjoying it so far this year. And now I'm bagging 2 FD3s. I usually bag more, but right now I'm throwing less forehands than normal due to my injury. So as my forehand comes back into my game, I'll probably include more FD3s, but Mostly for backhand, these are the two I'm throwing. I have a Doombird 3 and a Glow C-Line FD3. Great all-around overstable utility driver. Like throwing these fan grip, maybe power grip, and obviously forehand when I have that ability. If you've looked at any Discmania players in the bag, you're gonna probably see an FD3 in there. It's our workhorse. It's what you wanna throw if it's windy. It's a great way to get birdies on the course just because it's a great hyzer disc. You know what it's gonna do. So FD3 definitely would make the Discmania all-star team. Next, that's pretty much the FD3's big brother. I have a prototype Neo Splice, and this is probably getting a little bit more throw time than the FD3. More overstability, a little less glide. Doesn't have that much distance on it, but I can power grip it, which not a lot of discs can handle my power grip, and this disc can. So really love it for that. Overhands, grenades, forehands, splice. I absolutely love it, and I think they're gonna be coming available by the time this video is out, so that's great news. Last two fairway drivers in the bag. These are kind of like in between fairway. I call them a fairway. It's the Discmania C-Line PD. I have a first run and then a 13th run. First run is like it's a dream. Just straight, a little bit of fade. I just know that I love throwing this disc when I need a new level of control. I'll even disc down sometimes just to keep it within the fairway. Just with this disc, it's been this one has been especially good to me. And then this 13th run, very overstable. Throw it a lot with anhyzer and it'll come out, flex. So they complement each other really nicely, and it keeps me in the fairway, and that's why I love the PD. Now on to the high-speed drivers. Start off with the PD2. Currently I have 3 in the bag. Have a flat metal flake C-Line. This is pretty beat up. Kind of think of it as a longer version of a PD. I'll throw it on a slight hyzer, pops up to flat, and then finishes pretty softly, or I can manipulate the angle to where I get a big skip, but still have some good glide because it's not extremely overstable. Another metal flake C-Line. This one's more domey. This one is definitely significantly more overstable than the previous one. This one's actually pretty new. I'm just still getting the hang of this one, but it's flying super good, and looking forward to seeing what this thing does throughout the season. And then last is a Luster C-Line PD. This one is extremely flat. Shout out to Mike Kemp for the die. And probably one of the more overstable discs in my bag other than the Splice. Wind fighter, good for forehands, good for backhands. Just if the conditions get rough or I need a disc that's not gonna glide anywhere, this is gonna be the disc. So 3 C-Line PD2s. Now moving to the DD3s. I'll show you guys these two first. These were in my bag all last year and even 2020. This is an S-Line DD3, not Cloudbreaker. I believe it to be one of the first run of the S-Line. This is the one I choose for big rollers, straighter forehands, or huge turnovers that I know won't come out. So I also got a little hot dog on the back. The hot dog bandit got me. But yeah, this is one of the older DD3s in my bag and the most understable. I'm keeping a Cloudbreaker 1, throwing this one last year as well. This is great for forehands, great for some backhand shots. I'm kind of easing into the Cloudbreaker 3, but I just thought I'd keep one of these in the bag just because I'm a little bit more familiar with it than the Cloudbreaker 3 and the newer runs. But yeah, I'll probably be mostly moving to the newer runs of DD3 in the future. This is the Cloudbreaker 3. The colors with the Cloudbreaker 3 have a great impact on the stability. I found that the white ones are some of the most overstable, and I haven't seen too many of these ones, the lighter gray, but these are extremely overstable. In Vegas, I was throwing this guy and I was honestly shocked how much stability I was getting out of this guy. So these are gonna be absolutely awesome to throw throughout the year, and I'm very excited. Before we sign out, I just want to thank the sponsors that help me do what I do. Discmania being just one of the most amazing supports that a player could ask for. Grip equipment, Whale Sacks, Disc Golf Strong, Huck Lab, Move Chiropractic and Yoga. Probably leaving something out, but every bit of support I get on the road, I'm super grateful for. And also, one of the biggest support is you guys. Thank you so much for coming to watch me play tournaments, picking up a Signature Series disc. It all helps leaps and bounds, and I'm very grateful for it. So thank you guys for tuning in to this 2022 version of my In the Bag, and I'll see you guys out on tour. Until next time, keep on dreaming. Peace.